can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy.
Hey Karma Nation, it's me Travis here with DFSKarma.com, joined by the DFS GOAT himself, Mr. Ben Hostler. We have a first-of-its-kind podcast you guys are watching right this second. You're saying, why is there a lot of blue all over the place? Well, it is Owner's Box Blue. Owner's Box is our brand new partners. They are a DFS lineup platform. In a sense, you could say they're similar to kind of the same structure of DraftKings and FanDuel where you build a lineup, but they have their own unique twist. They actually have a few twists on it. One of them, the biggest one, is being that they have a SuperFlex, where you can literally have any player of any position locked in to a SuperFlex slot on their MLB lineup. So another thing as well is they don't do specific positions. So it's not like outfield here, first base here, second base here, catcher here. They give you, I believe is it 4 and 4, Ben? Is that right? For infield and outfield?
Four infielders, 3 outfielders.
Yes. So the position build-up is 4 infielders, which could be literally anybody that is infield eligible. 3 outfielders. You get 1 pitcher slot and then 1 superflex. So you can do the strategy of, do you want to do 2 pitchers by having a pitcher in the superflex, or is it more optimal based on salary, or maybe there's a batter that you're just like, this guy's going to go off for 3 bombs. Let's lock him into the superflex. There's a lot of different stuff you can do. So there's a lot more variance and opportunity for unique lineups in that sense. So Owner's Box has a few cool deals going on right now. If you've heard of them before, chances are it's because they were the main platform for WFS, which is weekly fantasy sports. So that's kind of what they kind of created their brand on, which is 7-day long MLB NBA contest when you're traditionally familiar with the one-day contest. And they're like, you know what? Let's go ahead and try the daily fantasy sports stuff. Let's see if we can take a chunk out of that market. And so they decided to kind of slow launch a DFS platform, having all of the members of Karma Nation inside of our Discord. We've been testing it, playing with it, providing feedback and whatnot. And we said July 1st, we're going to make it notable and talk about it to the general public so you guys can get in on it too. So right now, if you go to ownersbox.online, and you create an account, you download the app, whether it's on Google Play if you have Android, or App Store, of course, if you have an iOS iPhone or whatnot. You download the app and use promo code KARMA. Even before you deposit anything, they're already going to load $5 into your account. So that's $5 just by going to ownersbox.online, use the promo code KARMA, $5, boom, add it to your account. Now, you're like, okay, what can I do with $5? Well, the 2 main contests today, there's one that locks in a few hours. They have a full slate that locks at, what is the exact time? I think it's 2:19 p.m. today, Eastern Time. And then they have a main slate locking at 7:04 p.m. Eastern Time for MLB. Both of those contests, the entry is $5. If you listen to me right now and you create your account, you download the app, you will get a free entry into, if you want to do the full one, you can do that, or the main slate later at 7 p.m. And that is without depositing. Now, of course, once you do deposit, they're going to go ahead and add another $25 free to your account. So if you deposit the minimum, which I believe is $10, I probably will get yelled at by them if that's incorrect, but I'm pretty sure the minimum is $10. You'll get $25 added to your account. So it's just $25 is the bonus once you deposit, no matter how much you deposit. But yeah, so every Friday on this channel, which you are clicking the like button to right now and subscribing to if you haven't yet, every Friday you're going to see myself, Ben, and maybe some other faces, maybe even from the Owner's Box team as well, hopping on this. This is called SuperFlex Fridays. We are focusing on the Friday slate because more often than not, actually, I think is it 100% of the time, Fridays are always amazing, Ben, slate-wise?
Yeah, I can't remember a Friday that's not at least like 10 games.
No, probably, yeah. I was like trying to think if there's like some kind of ridiculous holiday that would make it not, but I don't even think so. Yeah, Fridays are always good days. That's why we're doing this podcast every Friday. You can expect to see it at the same time you're seeing it right now. So I would say probably edited and up at the latest by 1 p.m. Eastern Time every Friday. But yeah, so that's the gist. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go position by position in terms of Owner's Box position, which of course is infield, outfield, and pitcher. And then we're going to talk about some super flex strategy specific to this slate. So before we get into the infielders, Ben, is there any kind of slate overview for this day specifically? Any kind of tidbits that you want to drop? Any knowledge bombs, if you will?
Yeah, I think in general, just whenever you first start playing this, like you have to think of it just completely different from what you're normally accustomed to if you play DFS, because we don't have a lot of the saturation that comes in DFS when we talk about DraftKings and FanDuel is because so many people have access to quality projections now, and that's really what affects ownership the way that we see it. I mean, it's very often we have a big slate like today, and you load up one of those other sites, and there's still players that are over 30-40% owned even on a big slate because of the saturation when it comes to projections, and there's just not going to be that information for this specific website. So I think that helps out just like the casual player, but it also just creates like a whole other strategy in how you need to like look at things going into the slate.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started here with the infielder side. So remember, the lineup construction, the lineup build for their new MLB DFS, and I'm talking brand spanking new, for their DFS platform. It's 4 infielders, 3 outfielders, and a pitcher. Now, currently, which I'm 99.9% sure this is an accurate statement, there is no player that has dual eligibility. They're either designated in this in the offerings as an infielder or an outfielder. Now, I know there are players that exist that could play first base, could play outfield or whatnot. In this particular structure, there is no dual eligibility, so you can't like plug one person at infield and outfield, but you can plug them into SuperFlex though. So infielder-wise, for this massive slate, I guess my first question to you is, even though we have 3 hours until this full slate lock, are we kind of focusing on the players in the main slate today on this podcast, or do you want to focus on the full one?
Yeah, we can do either. I think so. Since there's no positions, like you're not forced to play a catcher, right, or like a second baseman or whatever. I think how you should go into every slate is just you focus on the teams that you like the most, or because you're going to be stacking a lot, especially which we've talked about a little bit, but a lot of sites like they'll cap you. Like on FanDuel, you can play four players from one team, but on Owner's Box, you can play as many players from one single team that you want. Now, that's not necessarily say you have to do that, but it's nice to have that option. And I think that since you don't have to play a third baseman, a shortstop, a second baseman, like you can really just focus on the players that you like, and you can really just focus on the teams that you like and that are in good spots, and try and get as many players from those teams as possible.
So I was just about to follow that up with, let's talk about your first infield play, but there are a few other things that I jotted down that I want to make sure I mention before we kind of get into the whole swing of things. So if you know anything about DFS Karma, you know that our flagship product is our core plays. I mean, we have a lot of other things. We have the Final Thoughts cheat sheet, we have our projections portals and everything else. So we've never in our history, because it's our flagship premium product, have offered our core plays for free. I mean, we may have done it for like a holiday, like a single day, something like that, but it's never been 100% free, just in general. So because of this new partnership we have at Owner's Box, because, I guess because we're so hype about it as well, you actually can get all of our core plays that are specific to the Owner's Box platform 100% free. All you have to do is join the Discord, and there's a link in the Discord every day for what you collect to see what the core plays are for that day. And there's literally, it doesn't cost a single penny. You just join the Discord, click the link whenever it gets posted or updated, and then you get the core plays, the Owner's Box core plays from Team Karma, 1,000% free. And if you don't know how to do that yet, just go to on your phone or on your desktop or your tablet, whatever, just go to dfskarma.com/chat. So that is the link, the invite link to get into our Discord if you're not already there already. And then you can see, as soon as you join, you'll see Owner's Box Core Plays channel there, and that's where you find all the goodies. dfskarma.com/chat. And I know I just mentioned that we have these projections portals, which of course are crazy in-depth tables that have all the projections and everything you possibly want to see when it comes to the big dogs like DraftKings and FanDuel. We're actually working on an Owner's Box specific one as well. As of this recording, that is not something that is on the site. I want to say probably by the end of this month it should be up, but make sure that you keep your peepers popped for that, because we were also planning to make that 1,000% free as well. That being said, housekeeping aside, what is your all-time favorite infield play for the main slate, which locks at 7:04 p.m. Eastern Time on this app, which is technically 7 hours and 48 minutes from the second?
Yeah, so I think there's if we're just looking in general at the teams for today, you have the Coors Field game, Diamondbacks, Rockies. Like that's always, going to command a lot of attention in DFS because it's Coors Field. So you have that game, and then you have the Yankees who are in a really good spot. You have the Braves who are in a really good spot. I can't remember a slate where there's a Coors Field game and a team that's not in Coors has the highest team total, which has happened today. The Braves are over 6 runs, which is pretty interesting. So I think, like I said, focusing on teams is going to be really big. So like the Braves infielders are definitely going to stick out to me, but someone that's not on any of those teams I just mentioned that I really like, he's 5,600. Jordan Alvarez, really good matchup for him against Michael Lorenzen. Lorenzen's really bad against lefties, over a 350 WOBA allowed this season. Alvarez, we know, like he has some of the best numbers in all of baseball against righties, and he matches up well with Lorenzen's pitch mix as well. So I think favorite overall, like if we're spending up, Jordan Alvarez is definitely in that conversation.
So now that we've locked in 5,600, which I believe is what, like top 5 salary for infielders, right? I'm trying to sort this by salary here, just to
Yeah, it's pretty.
yeah,
pretty high
somewhere. Yes, yeah. So he's top 5 salary. So when you're going top 5 salary on the first play, strategy wise, are you, because there's going to be some positions you're going to have to pay down on. Are you paying?
Yep.
If you go heavy on Alvarez, which is infield, are you going lower on infield? Are you going lower on outfield? Are you going lower on your SuperFlex? Knowing that you just put in a top 5 infield salary, what is your first thought on, okay, how do I counter that? And what position do you do when you counter that? I mean, this is just specific to today. I mean, this could, of course, fluctuate through depending on the slate.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. So I have an article coming out for today's slate for Owner's Box, which we could talk about in a bit. But one important
Segue real quick. Ben's
Yeah.
article. Every single day, so this is how much Owner's Box content is going to be fed into your veins, injected into your veins. I don't know why I say fed. Injected is the word I was looking for. Injected into your veins. You're getting a daily short form videos, like a daily TikTok. You're getting a daily article. Once we get the Owner's Box projection portal built and loaded, you're going to be getting that daily core plays, a Friday podcast, which you're watching right now every single week. And then, of course, 24/7 chatter for free inside of our free channels and our free Discord. Tons of Owner's Box content. It only makes sense for you guys to download the app, get that free $5, play one of the contests today, try it out, deposit, get the extra $25 bonus, and then get inside our Discord because there's nonstop Owner's Box content. We're super excited about this platform. Segue aside, continue with your chit-chat.
Yeah, so value is going to be very important, especially because of the SuperFlex aspect. That you're going to most slates, I would say you want to play 2 pitchers, and they're obviously the most expensive players on the slate. So you're going to have to find some value. So I actually think, at least how I've been doing it, like during this testing period, like when we've been playing, like I've tried to find like some value plays I liked. I'd plug them in, and then I would put my pitchers in, and then I would see kind of what I was working with after that. And there is some good value plays today at both infield and outfield. So if you want to, like, we can just talk about that, and then we can talk about the more expensive guys after that if you want to do that.
All right, so for infield, because we already plugged in the massive salary guy, what's potential value play for the infield?
Yeah, the number one, which I wrote in the article, is Vinnie Pascantino. I think I'm saying that right. I'm not sure, but the Royals just called him up. He's minimum price $3,000, which is really low for a batter. It's very rare that you've found guys that are like at least somewhat decent that cheap. This is one of the Royals' better prospects. They called him up a few games ago, and they actually traded Carlos Santana to just allow this kid to play every single day. He was hitting like 280 at AAA with 18 home runs before they called him up, and that was a big reason why they called him up, is because their lineup doesn't have a ton of power right now. So being able to get someone that we know has power for the minimum price, like that's definitely going to loosen some things up when we're building our team.
Something else I've noticed during our testing of the new DFS platform on Owner's Box here is that Owner's Box actually has a projection built into each player card. So, Alvarez inside the app says he's projected at 10 points. This Vinny guy is projected at 1 point. So,
1 point.
Of course, we don't believe that's accurate, but because it shows that in the app, if you're watching this right now and you have the app pulled up, chances are that only the people that are part of us, of Carmination, if you will, are going to be eyeing this guy, because if you're not paying attention to any kind of source for Owner's Box content, you're just pulling it up and you're like, well, this guy's only projected at 1 point. I'm probably not going to play him. That's why it pays to watch the podcast. All right, so big time salary infielder we're locking in is Alvarez. The value infielder we're locking in is, you said his name is Vinnie. I says all I see is Vinnie, but I'm hoping it's Vinnie. All right, Vinnie.
Yeah, it's Vinnie.
The prospect for Kansas City. What is a top dollar outfield play that you're looking for this main slate at 7 p.m. Eastern time?
Yeah, so this is where we definitely, like, there's tons of options. I think it's between Judge and Acuna for number 1 overall. Both have really good matchups. We can go with Acuna. So like I said, they have the highest team total on the board. They're up against Mike Minor. He's been bad in general since he started pitching for the Reds, but really bad against righties. 425 WOBA allowed, 371 ISO allowed. We know that Acuna hits left-handed pitching really well. Even this season, like, small sample because he hasn't played a ton, but 415 WOBA against lefties. And, you know, Minor, he doesn't throw a lot of pitches. Like, he mainly throws fastball, slider. You know, 2 pitches that Acuna is decent against, he's going to be sitting on it because he knows what's coming. So I think getting that exposure to, you know, the top overall team total tonight makes sense.
Give me a second here. I'm trying to...
He's actually cheaper too. I mean, if you
I'm
like,
trying to find his salary. I was trying to lock him. I was like, wait, how much is he on this one? Let me see. Yeah. How much do you see his salary is?
I don't see. I don't. Do they not have him? They might not have him in the player pool.
No, I'm trying to.
Might be taking Aaron Judge.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm trying to see if that game's part of this.
Oh, they don't have. Yeah. They don't have him on this slate because it's on the.
Yeah,
it's on the
7
full
p.m.
slate.
And Braves at 6:40.
Yeah, and
I was like, where? I was like,
okay.
wait a second.
That
all right.
makes sense.
So if you're playing the all-day slate, you can lock in Mr. Ronald McDonald. But
yes,
if you're playing the main slate at 7 p.m., you're saying Judge is the go-to.
Yeah, we'll just take Judge then. So Judge a little bit more expensive, but
I felt like I was dumb there for like. I mean, I probably.
Yeah, I was confused.
Like, why can't I find
I was like,
him?
where is this at? No, but yeah, good matchup for the Yankees. Aaron Savali, terrible for the Indians this season, especially against righties. 388 WOBA allowed, 226 ISO allowed to righties. Judge, I mean, pretty much been the MVP this season. He hits right-handed pitching really well. More importantly, though, Savali, his most used pitch to righties is a curveball, and Judge is basically the best curveball hitter on the Yankees over the last few seasons. 555 expected WOBA, so really good matchup for the Yankees tonight, and you know, Judge obviously the best hitter in their lineup.
All right, so just like we did with the infielder, we had a top dollar guy and a bottom dollar guy. If Judge is the top dollar outfield, who's the bottom dollar infield or outfield play?
Yeah, there's a couple. I think what makes sense, though, since we are going to use Vinnie at outfield, so we can use Kyle Isbell. He's min-priced as well.
Infield.
Yeah, at infield, yeah. We can use a Royals player at outfield as well. Kyle Isbell is 3,000 as well. His numbers don't jump off the page, but as of right now, Michael Pineda is projected to pitch for the Tigers. I haven't seen confirmation on that, but that's who they have currently starting. He's been really bad against lefties. Isbell obviously is a lefty. Doesn't have crazy good numbers, but 25% line drive rate is fine. And just the fact that he's $3,000 and he's going to bat relatively close to Vinnie in the order, I think it just makes sense to pair them up.
All right. So top dollar outfield, top dollar infield, bottom dollar infield, bottom dollar outfield. Now, instead of going through pitcher, I don't know. You know what? This is the first one. Let's just give him a pitcher and a super flex. Let's get a little crazy here. Pitcher wise, not factoring in the super flex yet, but pitcher wise, based on right now our average salary, based on those 4 is $6,400. So how expensive, knowing that we have 2 top dollar players in Judge and Alvarez, how expensive of a pitcher are we going for this main slate?
Yeah, I'm trying to see. So if we plug in the expensive one, that drops us down to like 5,500 left, which I think is still fine. So how I typically play on like other websites, which people that follow my content know, like I generally like to spend up as much as possible for pitcher, especially with how this is a more recent trend. But it just feels like today and age so much value opens up. There's new faces in and out of the lineup all the time. It's been relatively easy to get expensive pitchers in. So I don't necessarily know if we'll be able to play like two really expensive pitchers today on this website, but I think we'll definitely be able to play one. I think Corbin Burns is probably the best one. I mean, the Pirates are terrible. They strike out, around 25% of the time against righties. We have like a decent sample size of Burns against the Pirates as well. He struck them out 39% of the time, their current lineup. So I do think he is the best overall option if you're picking one expensive pitcher today.
Okay, so if we are doing that, with Corbin Burns being at 10,200, without doing it, so we have 4 spots left. We have 2 infield plays, we have 1 outfield play, and then we have that SuperFlex, which again is infield, outfield, or pitcher. So 4 left. We have $21,900 salary. Focusing on the SuperFlex, I'm guessing it's, with what we've already locked in, is it impossible or just highly unlikely to also put in a pitcher? Is there a bottom dollar pitcher that you believe could hit value with today's main slate?
Yeah, so during our testing period with Owners Box, there's been a couple times where the pitching salaries have been like really, really high, and it's been really hard to fit 2 in. Like if you wanted to fit 2 in, like you were playing a bunch of like Kyle Isbell type players, right? Like you could maybe spend up for one of Alvarez or Judge, and then the rest of your lineup was really cheap guys if you wanted to play 2 pitchers. Tonight, there's actually a few pitchers that I think are in play. So you have Alex Cobb, who I really like at 8,300, and then you have Brad Keller at 7,500. Both those guys, I think you could make work depending on what you want to do with those last 3 spots. But Cobb has been the unluckiest pitcher in baseball. His ERA is over 5 runs, but his expected ERA is 2.43. Has good strikeout stuff. He's at home in good pitching conditions in San Fran. And the White Sox offense, their projected lineup tonight under a 300 WOBA against right-handed pitching. And then Keller's not the strikeout pitcher that Alex Cobb is, but he plays Detroit, who, I mean, if you pull up Detroit's lineup, it's so bad against righties. Like this season, 265 WOBA, 24% strikeout rate. Their combined ISO as a team, which is like isolated power, it's under 100. Like it's just a terrible lineup. So I think either of those guys you can put in Superflex as a second pitcher and still make it work with the rest of your bats.
All right, so I went with Cobb based on what you're saying. So we got 3 spots left, and I think because this is the first ever Owner's Box Superflex Friday, I think we should just give them an entire lineup for celebratory sake. So we have 2 infield, 1 outfield, 4,500 remaining on average. Whether it's infield or outfield, who is a cheap guy that you believe? Well, like who's your favorite cheap guy? So I know we just did Vinnie and we just did Isbell. What is the next best cheap guy, whether it's infield or outfield, that we can get some kind of salary relief going here?
Yeah, there's another really cheap infielder, Rowdy Tellez. He is 3,100.
Cheap?
Yeah, he's 3,100. So he was really hot to start the season, but I mean, Owner's Box has him projected for 9 points tonight, but he's down there at 3,100. So just plug him in.
I'll take that. So that gives us 2 players left with 10,500 salaries, about 5,200 apiece. 1 infield, 1 outfield. The Alvarez play was 5,600. He was a top 5 cost for infield as well. So 5,200 each. I feel like you can easily get to like top 15 plays here, I would assume, without looking at the entire player pool at the moment. So salary aside, main slate, 7 p.m. Eastern time. For a player we have not yet locked into this lineup, who is your next favorite overall play, salary unrelated?
Yeah, I think we should try and pair, like, I think we need another Astros or a Yankees player, and then we can either go two for one team. Like we should try and stack here a little bit, or we can take like another Royals player or something. So,
all right, Yankees, Astros.
Let's look. So for Yankees, I mean Yankees, you can use pretty much anyone, right? I mean, obviously they have a good lineup. Rizzo, Stanton, like that would be the top picks. Would be one of those 2.
We can afford both of them right now. Let me see. Can we afford both Rizzo and Stanton with what we have left?
Stanton's 56, so I don't think so. Well, I guess it depends what Rizzo is. No, he's 55. So we had to pick one of them. Astros, we would want Kyle Tucker probably as the other guy.
What is Tucker's price right now?
Let's see here.
Oh, he's 52. So wait, no.
Okay,
I
well,
can't.
so if we wanted to do that, we could put him in at 52, and then Bobby Witt is 52 at Infield, so that would fit with the Royals. So they could both fit in.
Boom. We done it, kids. All right. So for everybody that's lasted this long, congratulations. You got yourself a full lineup from the DFS GOAT, Mr. Ben Hostler himself. And you can lock this in head-to-heads or whatever you want to do. So the first thing I want to mention is if you go on the app right now, so there you'll see like the contest will still say in parentheses, it'll say like DFS beta. So this is technically day one, so we're kind of slowly, Owner's Box is slowly rolling out of the beta. And I know you might look at the contest, and there's no like $1 million to first place contest right now for MLB because, like I said, they're just slowly going through the testing phase. But for week one of NFL, and I'm probably not allowed to say this out loud, but whatever. For week one of NFL, they're going to have an insanely massive contest, and I'm so freaking excited about it. I'm going to be maxing it out. And
Yeah, I think we're all gonna max it out. And so
tell me the
for
wrong things to
football,
play so he wins.
the SuperFlex is gonna be even more fun, right? Because
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like there are other sites that you can use 2 pitchers in baseball, but there's really no legitimate DFS product where you can use 2 quarterbacks. So like that's gonna be really fun when it comes to NFL.
Exactly. So I don't have it pulled up on my screen right now, but yes, we just built the lineup for you guys. I know you can't see.
I'm gonna enter it. I'm gonna enter it in the $5 tournament.
So going through the plays again, for Infield, for the 4 Infield spots, we have Alvarez, Vinnie Pascantino, which is a $3,000 Royal play, Rowdy Tellez.
Yeah, let's get Rowdy.
Rowdy, we'll just call him Rowdy. Bobby Witt, Aaron Judge outfield, Isbell outfield, Tucker outfield. Our main pitcher is Burns, which is he was the expensive guy we went after, and then the most unluckiest pitcher, as Ben said, is Cobb. So rocking 2 pitchers here. Now, if you want to do multiple lineups, of course you can do multiple lineups. If you want to maybe take out Cobb and then swap it with a bat instead of another pitcher, or the other pitchers that he was talking about, because there's a SuperFlex option, it's so much fun to like. Okay, well, I didn't want to do this pitcher. Let me do an outfield instead. And being able to bounce around every single possible position for that last spot, I don't know. I like it. But yeah, because you guys tuned in to the first ever SuperFlex Friday, you got yourself an entire lineup. There will be more core plays similar to that inside of our chat room, as I said, inside of Discord. Just go to dfskarma.com/chat. Go to you'll see Owner's Box MLB. That's where we talk about all of strategy for Owner's Box specific DFS gaming. And then you see Owner's Box Core Plays. That is the link where you will always find every single day MLB Core Plays 100% free. We're going to try to make the NFL ones free as well. We're working on it. Hopefully they will be. We'll see what happens. But for everybody that watched this 25-plus minute premiere podcast, thanks. Make sure you click the thumbs up button, subscribe, comment below what your favorite thing about this platform is, what your least favorite thing about me is, because I know typically, I don't know if you guys remember like last year, the year before that, every time that I like hosted these things with Ben, it's like, let's get so-and-so back on or whatever it was. Like, why is this guy even here? All he does is talk. First off, it's called hosting. And secondly, I don't know. I got nothing else. But yeah, so every Friday, typically around this time is when you first saw this video pop up on our YouTube. You'll find this the same thing where we just go through our favorite plays, where we bring in different guests on as well to kind of get their feedback on what they're thinking. And yeah, it'll be fun. So, Ben Hostler on Twitter, as you see right underneath his face there. Follow this man. Follow DFS_Karma. If you want to follow me, you can as well. It's me, Travis. But we'll see you guys next Friday. Good luck tonight. And then hop in those Discord channels because literally it's nonstop Owner's Box chit-chat. See you guys next week.